Okay, let us start with today's session, today's class. Okay, yesterday till where we have completed Sajarika, Deb Barma.
Yeah, I was absent yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday what topics did we complete? What were the topics?
Aims of past A
Okay, and
principle of past A and past A priorities.
okay. John Deep, read out the aims of first aid.
First aid.
Others, please don't
First
talk.
aid is the first.
Aims and objectives. Aims and objectives. Aims and objectives of first aid. Huh?
Yesterday I came late. Sorry.
Okay.
Yesterday I came little bit late.
Then you didn't note down your answer?
Yes, I will note down.
Okay, from where?
From reference.
Principles. Principles, did you write?
Yes.
Okay, read out the principles. Principles of first aid.
Principles like preserve life. This includes the life of the casualty and the rescuer.
Second point.
Protect the casualty from further harm. Ensure the scene and the casualty
Take no scene. SCN is scene. Ensure the scene. SCEN is scene.
STN. Yes.
After that.
After that, video close.
Okay. Sriyam.
Yes, ma'am.
Read out the aims and objectives. Aims and objectives.
Okay, ma'am. To understand your own abilities and limitations, to stay safe and calm at all times, to assess the situation quickly and calmly, to assist the casualty and provide the necessary treatment with the help of others if possible, to pass on relevant information to the emergency services or to the person who takes responsibility for the casualty, to be aware of your own needs.
Okay. Ferry Dikhar. Who is Ferry Dikhar? Fakri Dikhar. Yes, can you hear me? Fakri Dikhar. Ghor Das. Yes, you please read out the first 8 priorities.
Assess a situation quickly and clearly. Protect yourself and any casualty from danger. Never put yourself at risk. Prevent cross contamination between yourself and the casualty as best as possible.
Casual, not casually, casualty. CASUALTY. CASUALTY.
Comfort and reassure casualty. Assess the casualty and identify as best as you can the injury or nature of illness affecting a casualty. Given early treatment and treat the casualties with the most serious condition fast. arrange for appropriate help, call for an emergency help if you suspect serious injury for illness, take or send the casualty to the hospital, transfer him into the care of a healthcare professional or to the higher level medical care, stay with a casualty until care is available.
Oh, good then. Okay, so today, and what was the Nafe Taba? Nafe
Yes,
Taba.
ma'am.
Yes. What was the symbol of first aid?
Ma'am, tomorrow I will absent.
Tomorrow you was absent.
Yes, ma'am.
Tenya.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the symbol of first aid?
A white cross on a green background.
Okay, and it was given by
ISO.
what is the full form?
International and organization or standardization.
No. International Organization for Standardization. International
Okay.
Organization for Standardization.
Okay,
Standardization.
ma'am.
For standardization.
Yes, ma'am.
Today we'll write down, we will study
Okay.
about the rules of first aid. Okay, please note it down. Rules of first aid. Rules of first aid. This is a subheading. You can underline it. Write down. Important rules of first aid are as follows. Important rules of first aid are as follows. Important, please others, please don't talk. Important rules of first aid are as follows. It's better if every one of you on your videos, at least I can see you. Okay, number 1, you write down check. C-H-E-C-K, check. Number 1, check. C-H-E-C-K, check. Put a dash. Check. C-H-E-C-K, check. Put a dash and write down. Find out. Find out what had happened. What had happened. Find out what had happened. What had happened. H-A-P-P-E-N-E-D. What had happened. And then T-H-E and then. What had happened and then. What is wrong with the person. What had happened and what is wrong with the person. And what is wrong with the person. What is wrong, W-R-O-N-G, wrong with the person, full stop. With the person, full stop. Comfort the victim. Comfort the victim, C-O-M-F-O-R-T. Comfort the victim. Comfort the victim.
Can you repeat again?
Yes. First is check. Okay, C-H-E-C-K, check. Then you put a dash and write down. Find out what had happened. And don't talk, who is talking? And then what is wrong with the person? What is wrong with the person? Full stop. Comfort the victim. Comfort the victim. V-I-C-T-I-M, victim. And arrange shelter. And arrange shelter. S-H-E-L-T-E-R. And arrange shelter. And arrange shelter. S-H-E-L-T-E-R, shelter. Number second point, you write down call. C-A-L-L. C-A-L-L, call. Call, and then put a dash. Put a dash and write down arrange for, arrange, A-R-R-A-N-G, arrange. Arrange for professional medical aid. Arrange for professional medical aid. Professional, P-R-O-F-E-S-S-I-O-N-A-L, professional medical aid, A-I-D, aid. Arrange for professional medical aid. Means you will have to call for the emergency, what? Aid. Okay, what was the emergency number? Robin Riang. What is the emergency number? Yes, Robin Riang say. Emergency number? Who knows?
No, ma'am.
Srijana?
108, ma'am.
Okay, so you will have to call for 108. Okay, that is the emergency number. Number 3, you write down care. C-A-R-E, care. C-A-R-E, care. Put a dash and write down help the victim. Help the victim. Help the victim, comma, V-I-C-T-I-M, victim. Victims are also known as Sakani. Yes, Sakani. Victims are also known as.
Yes, ma'am.
Victims are also known as.
Sakani.
I can hear you, ma'am.
Victims. Victims are also known as.
Sakani. S-A-K-A.
Srijana. Victims are also known as.
Casualties.
Yes, good. So care. Put a dash and write down help the victim, comma, preferably, P-R-E-F-E-R-A-B-L-Y, preferably, P-R-E-F-E-R-A-B-L-Y, preferably without moving him or her. Preferably without moving him or her. Without moving him or her. You should avoid too much of movement. Okay, it will instead cause harm to the victim or the casualty. So in the rules of first aid, the 3 C's. Okay, the 3 C's are, what are they? Nafe Taba. Prakriti, you tell me. In the rules of first aid, what are the 3 C's? KB?
Check, call, and care.
Yes. So in the rules of first aid, the 3 C's are check, call, and then care. Okay. First you will have to check, and then you will have to call for emergency help, and then you will have to care and give comfort to the patient or the victim or the casualty. Okay. Next, you write down golden rules of first aid. Golden rules of first aid. It is the next subheading. You write down golden rules of first aid. Golden, G-O-L-D-E-N, golden. Golden rules of first aid. Golden rules of first aid. Put a dash. And underline it and write down number 1. Do first thing first. Do first thing first. Do first thing first. F-I-R-S-T, first thing first. F-I-R-S-T. Do first thing first, comma, quickly. Q-U-I-C-K-L-Y, quickly. Q-U-I-C-K-L-Y, quickly. Put a hyphen. Quietly. Q-U-I-E-T-L-Y, quietly. Quickly, quietly. quickly, quietly, without, without, without,
Without
or panic. F-U-S-S. Without fuss or panic. P-A-N-I-C. Without fuss or panic. You should not do hula turi, okay?
Without,
Fuss or
without,
panic. Fuss, F-U-S-S. F-U-S-S. Without fuss or panic. P-N-I-C, panic. Number to assess the situation, to assess the situation, to assess A-S-S-E-S-S, to assess the situation, to assess the situation calmly, C-A-L-M-L-Y, calmly, C-A-L-M-L-Y, calmly, comma, give confidence, give, G-I-V, give confidence, C-O-N-F-I-D-E-N-C-E, confidence, comma, talk to him or her, talk to him or her, talk to him or her. You should never, how much possible, you should not allow the casualty to remain silent or quiet, okay? You should talk with the person, okay? Even if he or she answers or not, you should make him, you should not let him just stay in a silent mode. You should have to talk with the casualty. At least, hello, hello, can you listen to me? Something like that. You have to talk with the, okay. Talk to him or her, finish, and reassure him or her. And also to reassure him or her. Reassure means Mari Deb Barma. Reassure means what do you mean by reassure? Harsh? Reassure means to give assurance, okay? Number third point you write, check ABC. Number third point, check ABC. ABC. Check ABC. In bracket you write down A for airway. A and then put a dash and write down airway. A-I-R-W-A-Y, airway. A, put a dash, airway. B, put a dash, breathing. B for breathing, B-R-E-A-T-H-I-N-G, breathing. C, circulation. C is for circulation. C-I-R-C-U-L-A-T-I-O-N, circulation. Airway, breathing, circulation. Okay, check A, B, C. Number 4.
What is circulation? Ma'am, what is circulation meaning? Like, what is?
Circulation means
What
you
the
will
meaning
have
of
to
circulation?
check for the patient's pulse rate. Okay, whether he is circulating. You have to check for respiratory rate, the pulse rate of the casualty at the time when the scene has taken place. Okay. This class will be taken later. I will take a full class about this topic. Okay, your ABC and then artificial and CPR, it will come all together. Okay.
Okay.
Number 4, you write down, give artificial respiratory. Give artificial respiratory. Give artificial respiratory. Comma, if breathing has stopped. If breathing, B-R-E-A-T-H-I-N-G, if breathing has stopped. S-O-P-P-E-D, stopped.
Breathing.
If breathing has
Breathing
stopped.
has stopped.
S-T-O-P-P-E-D, stop. Okay. Number 5,
After give
give artificial respiratory, comma, if breathing has stopped. Breathing. Every one of you can breathe. Is there anyone who
Yes,
can
ma'am.
breathe? What do you breathe
No,
in?
ma'am.
What do you inhale?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. What do you exhale?
Carbon dioxide.
CO2.
Okay. Number 5, you write down. Stop bleeding if any. Stop bleeding. BLEEDING, bleeding. Stop bleeding if any. If there is any nose bleed, any mouth bleed, any ear bleed, you will have to stop that bleeding first. Okay. If someone is bleeding from the nose, you will just stay, or what? You will just stay like that, cool and calm. Or instead you would help him or her to stop the bleeding. What would you do? If you have a hanky, you will put a hanky on his nose. You will ask his chin to tilt upwards, right? So these are some of the minor steps that you can do. Okay. Number 6, treat for shock. Treat for shock. SHOCK. Treat for shock. Treat for
Yes, ma'am.
shock. Number 7. Number 7.
Ma'am, what is number 6?
Treat for shock. 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 When the body doesn't get enough blood flow, then the person is prone to get shock. Understand? You should have proper blood flow in your body.
Yes, ma'am.
If that stops, then you will have heart attack. Okay. So about this topic also, I'll be taking it in my next class. In other units, shock is also there. You will learn in that class. Okay. Number 7.
Okay, ma'am.
Do not allow people to crowd around. Do not allow people to crowd around. Means overcrowding should be avoided in simple words. Okay. Write down. Do not allow people to crowd around. Do not allow people to crowd around. Crowd. CROWD. Do not allow people to crowd around. Number 8. Do not remove clothes unnecessarily. Do not remove remove clothes unnecessarily. You should maintain the privacy of the person. Understand? You should not just remove his or her clothes. Do not remove clothes unnecessarily. UNNECSSARILY, unnecessarily. Number 9, arrange for transportation. Arrange for transportation. Arrange for transportation. TRANSPORTATION. Arrange for transportation of the casualty. Arrange the transportation of the casualty. Means you will have to call for emergency aid, emergency services. Okay. Next subheading likha. Indian, INDIAN, Indian. Indian Good Samaritan, good, GOOD, good. Indian Good Samaritan, SAMARITAN. SAMARITAN, Samaritan. Protection guidelines. These are the guidelines which we will be talking about now. Indian Good Samaritan Protection Guidelines. Protection, PROTECTION, protection guidelines, GUIDELINES. I will share the screen with you. Okay. Wait. Can you see? Can you see on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, these are the rules of first aid which we were talking about. Check, call, care. Okay, this is the diagram. Check, call, care. You just draw this diagram in the rules of first aid. Please draw this
Ma'am, I
diagram.
can see. Screen.
Oh,
Ma'am,
sorry.
I can see.
Something red color. Now you
There is
see
no
it.
diagram.
Haha.
Then
Ma'am,
there
it's
is
not
no
showing.
diagram. I think it's
You
only
can't
rules,
see.
I guess.
No, no.
Yes,
Rules
Yes,
of
ma'am.
first aid. Here you can see check, call, care. Can you see this round thing?
No,
Yes,
ma'am, it's
ma'am.
Ma'am,
not
I can
written.
see.
You
It's
can't
only
see.
red.
That file is not yet open, ma'am. That
Uh-huh.
file is not yet open.
Huh?
File is not yet open.
File is not open.
File is not open yet. You can't see.
Okay. Listen, less than 1 minute is left in my Zoom. Again, it will be, the session will expire. You do one thing. I will end this meeting and you join again. It will be like yesterday.
Okay,
Otherwise.
ma'am.
Please join again, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so I will be sharing with you the screen. Okay, you just see. Can you see?
Oh, come.
No, ma'am.
Wait, wait.
Folder.
Wait. Now? Still no.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so rules of first aid, important rules, check, call, care. You please draw this diagram. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You please.
Yes, ma'am.
Below the rules of first aid, you please draw this. It's a simple diagram. Just for your understanding, at first, what you have to do, check, then call, then last is care. Please do that.
Ma'am, do we need to draw this diagram?
Yes, yes, this one. Below the rules of first aid, or else if you didn't keep space, I forgot to tell you, you just draw this figure. You can write down rules of first aid. Done? Over?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, na? Okay, so these are the golden rules of first aid. You have already written this. Okay. So now you write down, you can see and write down this Indian Good Samaritan Protection Guidelines. This was the guidelines. Okay. This was guidelines given by someone. It is for someone, anyone, the first aider who renders aid in emergency situation. Okay. By the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Please note it down. Note down this. Can you see it on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Please note it down. This is important. Okay, Indian Good Samaritan Protection Guideline. This is important for your exam also. This is important. That's why I'm sharing the screen. You just see and note it down. You note it down. I'm coming. Okay, I'll drink water and I'll come.
Okay, ma'am. swear.
Write down properly. Okay, this is Indian Good Samaritan Protection Guidelines. And some of your friends who have joined before didn't join now, so you can even give this to your friends. After you note it down, you click the picture and you send in group so that they all can write. All, it's done.
Ma'am, almost.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
following guidelines also we have to write.
What? Yeah, you write everything. The way it is written, you write it in that way. You write the
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Hmm. Indian Good Samaritan, it is actually it is protection guidelines. Okay, these are the guidelines that should be followed. And this Good Samaritan and Protection Guidelines was published by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Okay, as you can see, it was published by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. These are important guidelines. Okay, it was started in India in May 2015. Understand? The first one, what you can see is that if there is any eyewitness, okay, if there's any eyewitness at the time when the road traffic accident or road accident has taken place, the injured person or the victim or the casualty should be taken to the nearest hospital. Okay, to the most nearest hospital, you have to take that victim and you should follow the guidelines as well. And the eyewitness should never leave. Okay, after letting him get admitted into the hospital, you should not just leave the patient. You will have to give his full details. Understand? Because you are not his family members, you are not his known person. So at least when you provide the hospital fraternity with the proper address of the victim, then they will be able to call for help to his or her own family members. Understand? The second point is the bystander or Good Samaritan should be liable for any civil or criminal liability. For example, if by chance the person, for example, I'm just saying, if the person is wearing full of gold jewelries or any kind of jewelry, the first aider who has helped the person, if anything is lost, any of the person's personal items are lost, then he or she is liable. He or she will have to stand in front of the police and tell where the things have been gone. Okay, because there can be some kind of stealings also. Right, Taba? Ania? There can be a situation where the first aider is also helping the patient, whereas he is stealing his things, his personal belongings. It can be in the form of money, it can be in the form of jewelries, anything. Okay, so that bystander shall be liable for any civil or criminal liability. Crime. Okay, it's a crime. The third point is that the bystander or Good Samaritan who makes the phone call, who has called for emergency help, 108, the Good Samaritan who has helped to inform the police or emergency services for the person lying injured on the road, cannot be compelled to give his name or personal details on the phone or in person. Everything should be done in a paperwork. Everything should be documented. Understand? Documentation is very much important because it can lead to any kind of crime. Okay. Everything should be done in a proper documentation. Even the name of the patient, the full address of the patient, in what situation you have met the patient. Everything should be clearly described. They need to be done on a voluntary basis. Number 4 point is the lack of response by a medical doctor in an emergency pertaining to road accidents where he is expected to provide care shall constitute professional misconduct. If the doctors or the nurses did not pay proper care to the patient, okay, the patient was admitted, was brought to the OPD, okay, and then there was no proper guidelines for him, then the responsible doctor will have to go for this civil and criminal liability crime. Okay, so this professional misconduct will be held for him. So these are the 4 guidelines. You just need to study these things. Okay, it's not tough. You just read these guidelines and then you can write for your exams. This is important, but Okay. So I think you all have
Ma'am,
completed. Now
ma'am,
what?
last point was like, nah, ma'am, last point to Akis.
This is important. Okay, you please study. Can you see?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Everything should be conducted legally. Understand? No illegal things will be appreciated. All the things should be in a legal manner. And documentation is also very much important. Without documentation, there is no proof. Okay, proof is important to save yourself as well as the victim. Finished, John Deep?
yes, ma'am.
All.
Oh, okay.
So now you write down the last thing. Okay, we'll take in the last class. We'll take in the next class, sorry. This is the last point. That is first aid box. In the first aid box, what things will be required? I'll be taking on Monday. Okay, many of your friends have also not joined today. So I will take it in the next class. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Please
Thank
start
you, ma'am.
studying as well. Okay, start studying as well. If you just keep it, everything will become piled up. Many things are there. So you will have to start studying from now itself. It's the beginning,
Okay, ma'am.
start well. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.